What's up, everyone? It's me, Joe Schmo, and I am back for another podcast with the mobile gaming crew. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I am joined by 12, Ryoko, and Zeke. I'm going to move that phone before it starts getting on everyone's nerve. Fortunately, Rujo cannot join us tonight. Shout out to you, my dude. We all miss you and we love you. Don't you worry. So, go ahead. Let's do a round. I'll go last. 12-star first. Do your spill on your YouTube and stuff like that.
Well, I don't have YouTube. I just have a Twitch at twitch.tv/n12. I just pretty much play any game I want to over there right now. I'm playing the Genshin Impact closed beta test, and yeah.
Alrighty. So I'm next on the list. Hi everybody. My name is Ryoka Matcha. I am a part of my YouTube channel / Twitch channel, the Bubble Babble, which basically myself and a group of friends get on and we play all kinds of different games between mobile games, regular video games, etc. We've been playing lately, we recently have gotten obsessed over Grand Blue recently because of Grand Blue Versus, as well as the new Seven Deadly Sins mobile game. So it's been a lot of fun.
And Zeke.
Yeah. Hello everyone. How you guys doing? So of course, YouTube and Twitch is, as my name follows, Zekhem11. Simple and easy enough to find. And of course, when it comes to what I stream, it doesn't really matter. It's mobile games. I recently started with Nox recently, so I'm able to get a lot better gameplay and stuff like that for you guys and better quality for mobile gaming. And of course, I do stream consoles as well. And then recently, we just finished Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX. And so I'm going to, some few days later, I'm going to continue on with. But yeah, hopefully I see you guys there.
And then it's good old me. Everyone knows me by now. You see my articles everywhere. But in case you don't, I am Joe Schmo. I do anime-related content on YouTube, as well as Nuzlocke and other different gaming types. And then I stream now because I moved to a different location, and I have fast internet finally. So you can check me out on twitch.tv/Joe Schmo Gaming, where, I'm stupid and do stupid things. So, with that further ado, we have an announcement for those who listen to the podcast on YouTube. In case you don't know, we're on different platforms now. We are on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Buzzsprout, or I think it's Buzzsprout. I think that's how you say it, and Podbean. You can go ahead and download the podcast and listen to it anywhere at any time. For some of those, I think there's like a 90-day limit on those, so you gotta jump on it. But for SoundCloud, it's always there, and same for Podbean. I can guarantee that. But you guys are here to listen to us talk about mobile games and such. Today, we are here to talk about how do we get people that really aren't interested in mobile games to consider them, like get them into it. So I'm really curious on everyone's opinion on how to do this. Me personally, if you were to choose a company out there that has the right mindset, I would say Nintendo kind of has the right mindset, where they start at a young age and work their way up. So for me, looking at that, it's kind of like you start with Pokemon, then you work them up, and they start, I like the handheld stuff, to where they end up in, like Fire Emblem and Three Houses is, the giant extreme. But I like the idea of you start young and get it family-friendly oriented, like they did with the Switch came out with 1-2 Switch, I think it was called. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but that kind
You
of
are
idea,
correct there.
That's right.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. That's a good way to get people into it because you get the whole family into it. Now, if you're talking mobile games, that's a different ballpark. That's where you aim towards different niches. Where I even saw one the other day. You can make money off of it. It's like an easy way of stock marketing. It's just an idea, but it looks like it's good, and I've seen people use it and so on and so forth. It's like you put money in, you get money out kind of thing with stock market. But it's not live stock market. It's like past thing. It's weird, but it's a unique idea which I can get behind. But that's my quick summary. I am curious of all your guys' in-depth analysis on this. I'm really curious of what you guys think.
Who would like to go first?
I I guess you can because you spoke up.
Okay. Okay.
That's fine.
Well, I got to actually admit, because me personally, through my experience, I actually recently got my roommate into mobile gaming. How I got that for a person who is an adult age, a young adult age. Um, I just showed her the Fate Grand Order Babylonia anime. Her boyfriend also started watching Azure Lane as well.
Oh,
And because these anime shows are coming out based off of mobile gamings lately, she has now grabbed an interest. She started liking some of the characters from the show, and so she downloaded the game to see if she can try to get those characters that she likes. So that is how like someone that age got interested into mobile gaming. Um Another thing too is like sometimes some people easily get discouraged by gotcha games, which is kind of sad because some people are just like, I don't really get anything out of it. Like you said, like it's like a stock market sort of thing. You don't you put stuff in and you get stuff back, but what you get back isn't really like something physical or anything. And she didn't quite like that. Um so if you have a person like that, maybe lean them more towards like games like just actual video games on the mobile that are just have nothing to do with gotcha and see what happens. Another thing too is like a person like that, like for some odd reason, I got to admit those types of people that I have seen that have fallen out of mobile gotcha type games, they still play Pokemon Go, strangely enough. Um, and Pokemon Go is technically, in a way, like a gotcha game because you have days like Community Day where you're just rolling a roulette wheel to see if you get a shiny. So it's interesting in that aspect for a person like that to get back into mobile games. I would think just through regular video game type of stuff on the mobile. For those types of people to maybe try to get them to play it more. Um,
Man, it's too bad we don't have Ruja here. This would have made a great segment into his.
that would have definitely Rudra would definitely love that. I actually have to laugh because this is actually true to me in my personal life right now, because my friend was I have a friend who was the one that fell out of playing gotcha. She basically used to play Fire Emblem Heroes. She used to play, what was the other one? She used to play the Animal Crossing one. She's a really Nintendo-ish type of person. So she was playing more those games. She even tried Dragolia lots as well as Grand Blue. But she didn't like it. Not only that, she was starting to, at the time, the real world was coming on her and she had to learn to be a grown-up and like have a budget and everything like that. So that's another thing that was going on, why she had to stop playing. But trying to get someone like that back into it, I would always try to like maybe push like a game here and there that doesn't cost like money or anything, or maybe like just a game that's just $5 off the bat up front and just play the whole game on the mobile. But that, I think, is my part in the topic.
Okay, Mr. We'll go in order. Mr. Zeke, your turn.
okay. So I'm gonna go based off my experience of how like two people I know ended up getting into somewhat mobile gaming. I know one of them might kind of fell off now, which was like Pokemon Go. So let's start with him, my friend, who was in high school and he's still my friend today. I think it was yeah, because I remember so one time in class I was playing a mobile game and I was talking with him and I suggested a mobile game and a YouTuber, and of course the mobile game of course Shotgun Shogun plays, I think he still plays, is the Battle Cats. And we pretty much after that point, we pretty much compared units and see how far we've gotten into the game. And of course, the Pokemon Go craze ended up happening, and he played that. And I'm a big Pokemon fan, so I helped him out with that as well. Not the best example, but we'll go with another example, which is my stepdad. We play on the same Xbox 360 together some years ago, and we got Plants vs Zombies on it. And when he saw me play it, he was interested and decided to play Plants vs Zombies, and that eventually transitioned into him wanting to play Plants vs Zombies 2 by series. Plants vs Zombies 2 is only on a mobile device. And so that's how I kind of got him into mobile gaming, just by watching me play a game that's like an almost all platforms, which was the first original Plants vs. Zombies. And now I also got him interested in Plants vs. Zombies 3, which, if you guys haven't watched or seen or read the articles or going over them, it's very gacha heavy. And previously 2 has been updated to be gacha heavy, and he's still playing it every day now. So just by series alone, I was able to get my stepdad into playing gacha games because he likes the Plants vs. Zombies series. So I would go for what their interest is, and you could also, like Ryoko suggested, an anime. If they like a certain anime, maybe if there's a mobile game out, you could suggest them to play that. So that's my 2 experiences on the whole get someone interested in a mobile game.
I mean, I just like continue from that actually. Like the only concern actually about anime, watching an anime and then it goes into a mobile game. Like there are some anime shows out there. Like for example, right now I'm playing the Seven Deadly Sins mobile game, which is a very good mobile game, by the way. The only other thing though is that there are some animes out there that do some mobile games. I will admit they don't really do it up to par, like for example, like Seven Deadly Sins, where they do a complete like 3D rendering or everything like that. Sometimes some games, all they do is just have a screenshot from the show, slap it on a card, and call that a super rare. Which is pretty okay. I think a good example of this is I think the Overlord gacha game, if anyone has played that one.
I forgot Overlord had a gacha.
Yeah.
No one talks about it.
Right. It's those types of games that end up going into the dark. But like there are games like, for example, like the Dragon Ball Z one. That one is huge. But that's partially because the anime is huge. But Overlord was a huge anime, but sadly the mobile game got such poor feedback after it was released, because all that gacha was, they just slapped screenshots and pictures onto cards and just said, that's it. You do some battle systems with these cards and that's how it works. So just be mindful a bit, I guess, of the shows that you watch and their gacha systems. Like even another one is the My Hero Academia gacha game. That one has been changing so much throughout its years. So again, just be a little bit mindful. Like animes that are based off of mobile games, I would lean more towards.
Yeah.
You know,
Also-
that reminds me, Black Clover, I think, is a good example of, I don't think the best. It's kind of ironic. So the graphics and the models of the game, I think, look really bad. And it's kind of fitting for the Black Clover anime because the animation is not the best. But that's, just had to put that in there.
Yeah, like some are good and some are not all that great, but that's because like those sorts of things are based off of an anime TV show off the bat. And first off, you got to deal with the anime company itself, as well as getting the licensing for it. And if in that company itself, do they want to hire a mobile gaming crew for it if they're going to do it all within the same company, or are they going to have some other smaller company or something do it for them?
I think not necessarily a good example of like a mobile game based off an anime, but like a pretty decent one would be Don Memo with Danmachi, because that game, at least here in the U.S., it started at Rocky purely because there was some controversy with censorship, basically the removing of a certain system. But besides that, the game itself is actually still in a pretty decent state. And there's been some additions later down the line that people aren't liking, but even then, it's like the game adds entirely new characters, new stories that, while aren't canon, they like flesh out the characters more and things like that, and doesn't just stick to the light novel story or the anime story like a lot of these games you guys are talking about.
Right. That is definitely a good example, and that's why I also still say another good example is the Seven Deadly Sins one that just came out globally. This one, like, basically have the regular main story of the Seven Deadly Sins, which has fully rendered 3D cutscenes, all be broadcast on your phone, which is a bit much. I gotta tell you, I can't tell you how many times my phone would heat up because of all that graphics that are being shown. But there are side stories where they talk about more about certain characters or everything. In the Japanese one, this is like a side story that still hasn't been brought globally yet, but it will, I think, in a couple of months. It's actually about Merlin's one of the apprentices Merlin had, and this apprentice supposedly just wants to open up a portal to a different dimension and bring all hell on the world. So it's really interesting, and that's where they bring in the idea of characters that aren't even a part of the Seven Deadly Sins anime into the mobile game. Like, this character is created just for the mobile game, so this is the side story that this character will have. So it's interesting with that game as well, how they turn an anime into a mobile game. So, all right.
All right. So both Ryoko and Zekem have gone. So I'm gonna go now, and this is a bit weird because I only have one story, and it's fairly recent for me. I had a friend who I tried getting him into mobile games before through actually some of the same methods with Don Memo, like because he liked Don Machi. I was like, hey, try Don Memo. He wasn't a big fan of Don Memo. He just didn't have the time, and he felt like it was too time consuming. And eventually, I ended up getting him into Bang Dream, which the reason I got him into Bang Dream was because he likes the actual style of the game, the rhythm style. So I kind of want to bring up this point of sometimes you can just get someone into a mobile game through it having gameplay that they like and not necessarily like characters they like, or it's based off of something that they like. And he started off not playing any gacha games, not spending any money on mobile games or playing mobile games in general. He played a bit of Pokemon Go, but that was about it. And now just the other day he spent like $40 or $50 on Bang Dream because he was like, yeah, I want to support the game because I like it.
Like, that's real interesting, like, how, like, a person like that, just because he likes this series, I'm guessing?
No,
Has
he has yet to watch the anime for Bang Dream. He just likes the game.
Okay. So just the game, then. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, in my case, how I started, oh boy, golly gee, I watched Love Live, and I guess you all know how that went.
Gotta love that Love Live.
Was playing some All Stars right before we started this recording.
That's not the point here or there. But how it started, Love Live came around to me in a very important time in my life, and it became my number one anime of all time very easily. Not because there's cute girls singing and dancing, which that is nice. The story, the underlying story of doesn't matter who you are, you can be friends with anyone, and you guys can achieve anything no matter what if you work together and never give up, sticks with me to this day, because boy oh, I have surely needed it sometime in my life. But a friend of mine was actually playing it beforehand, and I was like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, well, I'm playing this phone game. Then I look over, and guess what I see? I see the zombie shoot across the screen. I'm like, what was that? Then I see Nico shoot across the screen. What is that? That's Love Live. And then it went from there on out. And then I blew hundreds of dollars.
Now, here's the question. Did
Feels
you
about
watch
right.
Love Live before you saw your friend playing the mobile game?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know about Love Live until that point. I mean,
okay.
I didn't know about the Love Live phone game until that
point.
Okay.
Right.
And then, spent hundreds of dollars. Now, the Azure Lane phone game, I played that for a little while. And, yeah, he showed me into that. I'm like, oh, there's... So, cute ship girls. Okay, I can dig it. All right, and then... then I saw Cancol had a game. Then I played Cancol, even though that was PC, but I still consider that mobile because you can take that anywhere, really. Then I went to Fate Grand Order, which I'm still at. Then I tried Dom Memo, and it went from there. But my friend saw me playing Fate Grand Order. This is all tied in together because it's all one giant snowball effect. I'm not rambling, for those who think I'm rambling. So I was sitting on my friend's couch one night. After I spent the night, I woke up in the morning and started grinding on the Shiki event, the Garden of Sinners event. And my friend just heard the crashing in the background of the servants going. He's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is a phone game, Fate Grand Order. It's based off the Fate anime." He's like, "What's the Fate anime?" Then I told him about the Fate anime
Oh,
as best as I could. Thumbed it down.
Yeah, that's a hellhole.
Yeah. 7 historical figures fighting, and he's like, "I love history." I'm like, "Then you'll love this too." And then he got into Fate, and then he got into Fate Grand Order, and then he went down the rabbit hole alongside me, and it's a never-ending pit of doom, really. But yeah, it's lovely down here. We have cookies and some other stuff in this pot. But that's really my experience getting people in, because I mean, it's the appeal of different aspects. Like for Fate, it's gotcha or historical figures and having a different spin on it. For me,
Well, like,
go ahead.
no, sorry, finish up your segment, actually.
I was about to say, and then for me, it was cute girls singing and dancing on the screen and pressing random buttons. It depends on your taste.
See, now, like, the question now comes to, like, a mobile game that's more, like, doesn't have maybe something beforehand for it, or a anime like now. Like, for example...
So like Honkai.
Yeah, or like Arknight. I mean, even though technically the way they advertise it is through animation videos and everything right now, but they technically do not have a show. Games like that is interesting because that's making me think way back. Has anyone ever played Rage of Bahamut?
I never did.
I've heard of it, but I never played it.
Okay, that's
Sounds
technically it was technically the game before Grand Blue came out. It was made by Psy Games. I think it's done by some of the same artists. I think he did some of the card pieces. I'm not fully sure. But that one was basically a traditional, like, very card game strategy-esque type of game. And this I played back in, I think, 2011 and that sort of thing. I was in college during the time, and I had 2 other roommates with me, and I was just chilling out in our apartment one day, and then my roommate and her boyfriend came in, and she's on her mobile phone. And she sat down and she was playing her mobile phone while her boyfriend started making some food and everything. Without even thinking very well, she gets up. She's still staring at her phone. And her boyfriend opens one of the cabinets and slams her in the face. Because she's not paying attention and she's looking down at her phone. So that immediately caught my attention from where I was sitting, and of course I made sure she was all right and everything, but then it got to the topic, what was she doing? And then she showed me on her phone, and on her phone she's playing Rage of Bahamut. So she then started showing me the gameplay and everything, and back then Rage of Bahamut was more like Shadowverse type of style. So like the colors and everything were very dark. Very epic and that sort of thing. One of the examples actually you guys can see to understand Rage of Bahamut is actually the Rage of Bahamut anime. There is an anime for this.
Oh, no.
But strangely enough, that anime came out, I believe, after the game went offline.
So what I'm hearing is some fans couldn't let go, and then they commissioned a studio to make an anime.
Pretty much. And basically all those Rage of Bahamut fans either went over to Shadowverse or Grand Blue. Like, Rage of Bahamut was pretty big back then. But ever since the company made those 2 games after Rage of Bahamut shut down, that's where everybody went. But that, like, it kind of gives you an idea of what the story is like in Rage of Bahamut. But yes, Joe. but basically, the anime just gives like what it is. It's just a treat to show off what some of the characters are in the mobile game. Some of the characters you can have and everything. The mobile game itself and its story is completely different. Like you have an MC and you go on an adventure and everything, and then of course you have the event stories as well that release like different characters and everything. I will tell you the gacha system I remember very well was really hard. Like extremely. Um I didn't spend any money back then because I was in college, but I can't tell you how many times I would rage because I got nothing. Absolutely nothing with all the rolling that I did, and I went through so many chapters. And I'm guessing some of you have an idea that the Grand Blue Fantasy mobile game, it has a very long story.
Yes.
This one also had a very long story, gameplay. So Rage of Bahamut was just every day. I was just grinding at college every day. Just grinding, trying to get those stones, and then trying to get that SSR that I really want and end up with something else. But that was a game from back in the day that I got into because my friend just showed it to me randomly one day. It was just very strange.
I just started thinking, so as much as we talk trash about this one game, like, you know what game I'm going to be talking about? They have a really good marketing campaign. As much as I
Do it.
so,
This podcast is.
guess what, guys? We have our first sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends. As much trash as we talk about it, their campaigning of it is on point because you see it everywhere, and people are playing it everywhere. Oh, my favorite YouTuber is sponsored by this. Let me check this out. It's
But
Right.
don't you know they don't actually pay the sponsor? They don't pay any sponsors on YouTube.
That's a different topic for a different day. But the point is, everywhere you look, you see it. TV, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. You see it. And people know it. It's a household name for gamers. Everyone knows it. Whether you like
For
it
better
or
or
not,
for worse.
it's still in your vocabulary and you still talk about it. We are a good example of that.
This is true.
So, that is the best way, personally, I think, is to how to get people who aren't much interested in mobile games. The figure icons, like Tin the Tapman, Wildcat, Vanos Gaming. What's another one? What's another big one that does it? H2O Delirious mentioned it at one point. Jacksepticeye mentioned it at one point. Moose Knuckle. I could keep going. Now, what about you
There are
guys?
lots of.
What is your opinion on that?
I think even if I remember correctly, Offline TV I think is even sponsoring it now. Really, campaigning is a major factor because how else are you supposed to show off a mobile game to people? You have to do it through marketing. One thing. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, technically, even just like you showing a game to a friend is also marketing that for that game. It's just free marketing.
Right. But like doing through that method, the chances of that happening, I don't think is likely of a chance compared to marketing it on like YouTube and other platforms.
Obviously, the paid marketing is better, but I'm just saying like that umbrella term of marketing is this. It still encompasses you talking to it with a friend about it.
Right. Like for example, it also even sparks that sort of conversation with a friend as well. Like one thing I would like to see more, I would like to see it more in actual stores, which might be nice, like a video game store like GameStop or Walmart or Target, Best Buy, because there are video games out there that are based off of mobile games. Like for example, Grand Blue Versus that just came out. Advertise Grand Blue. Put a ad out that says Grand Blue Versus, and then at the bottom of the thing say, hey, it's also a mobile game. Here is a QR code or a link to the website.
Now,
just to get that more out there.
See, that really comes down to regional marketing too for the company. Because I mean, a good example is that is Fate Grand Order. You really don't hear about it, but if you're a Fate fan, you know of it, kind of thing. And I guess the same thing with the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus thing. Because if you look at some of the random Pokemon games, I've seen it on a couple of them, and you go, we also have this mobile game out, and it's like the game of the time. So when Pokemon Coliseum came out, it was advertising Alpha Sapphire and Ruby. When I think it was Pokemon Ranger came out, it was advertising, I think, Black and White, I think, or Diamond and Pearl. I can't remember.
I believe that was Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe so.
It comes down to the company at that point. Because there's some great companies out there that know what they're doing, and then there's people like, Aniplex or, which one does Fate Grand Order? Can't think off the top of my head. Whatever the Fate Grand Order people. The North American people don't know what they're doing.
Isn't that still Aniplex?
Yes.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh,
Aniplex
maybe.
has major copyrights over Fate Grand Order now.
Yeah.
So, my point stands, the people don't know what they're doing. But it just really comes down to the company. So, I mean, that brings it right back to Raid Shadow Legends.
Right. Like, it's all about the advertising.
Yeah.
Like, on YouTube and everything, like, I would love to be a sponsor for Fate Grand Order and that sort of thing, but that's for the company themselves to choose if they want to sponsor YouTubers or anything like that, which Aniplex probably they don't have something like that right now. They don't maybe have a policy or an understanding like that to happen at the moment. While, for example, I'm trying to remember exactly who owns Arknights again, please.
Yostar. Yostar? Yeah.
No Star, yes. They're starting to get they kind of have the right to sponsor YouTubers and everything. Because I think you guys have seen some of the commercials where YouTubers have been advertising it.
Yeah. And I was actually going to bring that up originally when you were bringing up advertising. I was like, Arknight's been doing that a lot recently as well.
Right.
I know, because Azure Lane used to. I don't know if they still do it or not.
They kind of do. I just don't see it pop up as often as it used to. But Arknights, actually, I gotta laugh. Back when, I remember back when it first launched, the advertisement was very good. That at least the advertisements that were from Japan or China or whatever, the animated flicks that we would see. But then you would see the American commercials. And those commercials were kind of weird, where you have a guy that's like walking through, like there's like a white background and the guy's just walking through a door, explaining things going on throughout his daily life, and then he just goes like, play Arknights.
Oh, the doctor
there
one.
Are characters. Yeah.
That one's a good one, the doctor one.
Like, it's such a strange commercial, but at the same time, it's so American. It's not funny. And then recently, like, like some of those companies that advertise mobile games where what they do is they have like what looks like the most corny things, like like one of those Asian Chinese type of things where you like choose an option and it shows up on the screen and it like automatically clicks on something for you and it shows you the result and then it does it again to show you even a bigger result. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this very well.
No, you're fine. You're doing good. I get it at least.
But just the other day for Arknights, a commercial popped up where it's just like, do you pick Shield or do you pick Vanguard? And then it automatically picks one for you, and then it shows you the results. And it's a very corny, not very well edited type of commercial. So it's interesting to see Azure Lane go from the Chinese and Japanese animation commercials to the corny American commercials to now the really beginner-ish, very novice type of made commercials.
See, I'm trying to figure out how to put this into words here. I got something on the brain, but being the idiot I am, I can't get it out. Let's see here. Personally, Arknights knows what they're doing. I've seen Facebook ads amongst all of them. Even though you see them here and there for like fake Grand Order or something, I don't have anything Arknight related on my Facebook, and I still see Arknight ads, which means other people are seeing Arknight ads, which is amazing because that's bringing them in. Because it's like, oh, that looks pretty interesting, and they sit there and start. Because honestly, a lot of people like tower defense games. At least that's how I categorize it. I mean, some people might do it differently. But a lot of people I've talked to, they like category stuff, like tower defense stuff, and stuff like that. I mean, has anyone else come up to you guys asking about like any mobile games at all?
I'm not fully sure actually, or I just don't remember.
I mean, that would imply that people come up to me for video games when I just stay at home most of the time.
Well, I mean, maybe they hit you up on Discord or on the phone.
Okay, true. I have had a few people on Discord ask me about it. But I mean, for most of the people that ask me about it, though, it's usually they already play at least one or two, and they're like asking about a new one. I don't think I've really had anyone come up to me or message me like just out of the like, oh, I don't play any mobile games. What ones would you recommend if I wanted to try them out? I haven't really had any experiences like that, except for that one friend of mine who I was talking about earlier. But even then, I know him IRL. I know him in real life. It's I know what he likes and all that.
Oh, you go ahead.
I mean, really, what I do is with my IRL friends, I always recommend my games to them because, like, every time I'm hanging out with people, I'm always like on my phone, grinding or doing something with some mobile game. So they're always like looking over my shoulder just to see what I'm playing or anything. And just because I'm playing a gacha game, they got into at least the idea of mobile games, and they just look into a mobile game idea for like something they're interested in. Like I have a friend who's into K-pop. Guess what she plays? She plays all the BTS stuff. But on the internet's real interesting because people themselves can also look up the mobile games as well to see if they grab interest into it. And then there's, of course, like you said, there's the advertisements on Facebook and everything all the time. It's real interesting that you said that even though you have no connection to Arknights, but you still get the advertisements. Because on my side, if I don't have any connections, like I don't like the Facebook page or anything, I don't see any advertisements whatsoever. But as soon as I press the like button, like for example, like Fate Grand Order, Arknights, and other games, immediately I see the advertisements. Because I think it's like the Facebook engine going like, okay, this is what you like. All right, let's put this, and this on your page.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe it's because I like Fake Grand Order and Danmachi and all that stuff on Facebook.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I won't get I'll get advertisements for games that I don't play. But usually if I get those kind of advertisements, they are related to another game I do play and I do like. And I'll get it like that way. Like I've been getting a lot of the Seven Deadly Sin game ads, but I have never touched that game. I have no plan to touch the game, but I still get all the ads because I feel like it's in the same realm of me having liked like all these different other anime-based gacha games on Facebook and on Twitter and things like that.
Psst. Try it.
Okay, to be
out of this, it's the Seven Deadly Sins game. It's the bee's knees, everyone. So
I played it a little bit.
I'm good with my Love Live and all and my Honkai and my Danmachi.
Mm-hmm. I will admit though, I'm a bit of a Seven Deadly Sins. Excuse my wording. Seven Deadly Sins fan. So that's part of the reason why I like the game. But I will admit the interface, the gameplay, the graphic, to me for a mobile game, this is a whole new level.
Oh, if we're talking whole new levels, I just want to bring up Genshin Impact and the fact that it's a mobile game, but it's also a console game, and it's great.
Yeah, I can understand you there.
Also, there is a gacha system in the game. They just added it in this closed beta test. Just gotta point it out.
So remember, everyone, you hear these great games, you you should go check them out.
Well, you can't check out Genshin just yet.
When it
Sadly.
comes out, go check it out.
I think everyone will.
Or if you're listening to this while the closed beta test is going on, I am streaming it. Shameless self promotion right there.
Twitch.tv/12. Go check it out.
And I'm streaming 7 Deadly Sins if you guys want to go and check that. So
Twitch.tv/. What's your handle on your
it should be Boba Babble, BOBBA, and then Babble.
There you go.
I guess I gotta do it too. I've been playing a little bit of PvZ3, which I know is only available in certain countries. And I did a lot of summoning last stream, like roughly $100, just to see how the level system and like that is. I plan on playing on more later, sometime in the future, depending on what happens. But I am playing it as well as Faye. So
at twitch.tv/Zcam11. Well, go follow this man. Go do what you need to do. As for me, guys, I guess this is a good way we can segue out of here. You can go follow me on twitch.tv/JoeSchmoGaming, because I will stream Fake Grand Order once in a while, and maybe some, Love Live All-Star, But for tonight, well, it doesn't matter what I say tonight, because this ain't coming out tonight. So, thank you again, guys. Remember what we talked about here. A good way to get your mobile game out there is to pay YouTubers lots of money and, quote-unquote pay them lots of money to advertise your game and laugh at them once they do it and not really pay them. Or go to TV and get it done there.
Or pay your friends.
Or just watch a live stream.
Friends to watch your live stream and give you all lots of love. Okay? But for now, guys, we thank you all for stopping. Make sure you stop by Mobile Gaming News for all your latest mobile gaming news, updates, and opinions and reviews on different things. And we will catch you guys later.